The other day I was thinking of all the various uses for YouTube, and not everybody uses it the same way. Some people use it very differently than others. When I started using it, it was primarily just to make some funny videos, what I thought were funny, and send them out to my friends and get a laugh, and that would be that. Because there's really no other good way to send videos through the internet. They're just too big. But this was a good site to do that. So that's how I started using YouTube. As I started using it, I started to see, of course, many other uses for it. One of which is for people that have some real talent, unlike me. People like Happy Slip and some musicians that I've seen out there, and Lisa Murray, and different actresses, actors, comedians, musicians, that before YouTube, they really needed to have like what we call a break. Now they can kind of make their own breaks, and that's pretty huge, I would imagine. If you've got some talent and just want to be known, that's fantastic. So that'd be like another use for it. A third use is just for people not too much unlike me that just like attention. So what they do is they just put a series of whatever out there. Some of it's good, some of it's not so good, but we're being heard. If you're listening to this, then I'm kind of being heard. But people like Brunetto or Greg Solomon or MG Pappas, Argent 009s, people like that, they just want to be heard, and they are being heard. And sometimes they have some pretty good thoughts, and sometimes they're pretty funny. So that's another use for it. I also see it, I've been kind of using it as just a communication device. I think about the different types of communication that I use, and I use, telephone, I use email, I use voicemail, I use business letters, I use handwritten letters, but now I use YouTube for some of that, not for all of it, where I'll just send somebody a link via email, and when they click the link, it's me giving my message somewhat, very much, in person. That was an unintended use, or I just kind of stumbled into that one, is what I meant to say. I never did intend to use it that way, but it seems to be pretty useful. So like in business, I'll send an email to somebody requesting a meeting or requesting some business or thanking them for business or whatever that might be, and they click on the little link, and there you go. There I am on the big screen right in front of them, whether they like it or not, and they're usually pretty amused by it. So I think I'm going to try and take advantage of that, leverage that a little bit, and I think that's a pretty cool use. I guess the other thing that it does is, can you imagine if they had something like YouTube back in ancient times, back when the pharaohs were around, and Napoleon or Homer or some of those folks, where they weren't really just writing things down. You can kind of catch their personality through the whole thing, all through history. That would be fascinating, and I don't know if these videos that we're making now and putting out on these sites will live in perpetuity, so to speak. But what if they do? What if another 2,000-3,000 years people are looking at us? People are looking at people 3,000 years from now are looking at Brunetto as he gives us some expository from his toilet or whatever from the top of his roof. What are they going to think of us, But or Greg Solomon, or some of these guys, or hearing MG Pappas argue with Argent 009. You know, it just makes you wonder, doesn't it? So anyway, I think that's enough for now, because I tend to drag on and on and on, and I really don't mean to, but I got a lot of things to say. So anyway, just some things to think about as far as a few uses of YouTube. I've got a few more, but you'll have to wait for the next video. All right, bye-bye.